per unit. Very important concept which can be asked for 2 marks, and this is important to understand other topics in the chapter. So if you have to calculate numericals, this concept is very important. You must have an idea that in simple cubic how many atoms are there, in face centered cubic unit cell how many atoms are there, that is very important. So here I already told you yesterday, we are studying everything by taking cubic unit cell as an example. Okay, say in cubic unit cell, we have 3 types. We have 3 types. Cubic unit cell. I'm taking cubic unit cell. So under this, we have 3 types. I already discussed yesterday, right? Types of unit cells. So under cubic unit cell, you have simple cubic unit cell, and second one is body centered cubic unit cell, and which we can call it as BCC. Okay, body centered cubic unit cell. Okay, so BCC is the short form for that. And the third one is face centered cubic unit cell. So this we can call it as FCC, face centered cubic unit cell. Okay, face centered cubic unit cell. So let us under cubic unit cell we have 3 types. Okay, for cubic unit cell, end centered is not possible. Actually, end centered is another type we discussed for unit cell, but that particular unit cell is not possible and it doesn't exist in our nature so far. Okay, so ಯಾವುದೇ cubic lattice solid ಅಲ್ಲಿ end centered unit cell ಅನ್ನೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, so that particular unit cell doesn't still exist in our nature. So that's why normally we say any cubic unit cell can be of 3 types. Okay, it can be simple cubic. You know what do you mean by simple cubic? When do you call it as simple cubic? When atoms are present at the corners of the cube, right? All that we discussed yesterday. So what we are going to learn is unit cell is the smallest unit of crystal atoms. Okay, say actually how many number of atoms that can belong to each unit cell, that's what we are going to calculate. Okay, so a particular number of atoms which only belong to one particular unit cell is what we are trying to calculate. Okay, and to calculate number of atoms present in each simple cubic unit cell, in each body centered cubic unit cell, and in each face centered cubic unit cell, you should have some idea. Okay, so you must have some idea to calculate that. So what is that idea is what I'm going to discuss now. Okay, so we will call it as contribution of atoms. You should know something about contribution of atom that is present in the corner, that is present within a body, and that is present on the face. Okay, so how much extent a particular atom can contribute to one single unit cell, that idea you must have. And later, if you have that idea, you can easily calculate number of atoms in a unit cell. Okay, so just try to understand this concept. The very first point, these points are very important. If an atom is present at the corner of cubic unit cell. Okay, so what happens is, imagine in a crystal lattice you have so many unit cells, right? Say for example, this is one unit cell. Okay, just 2-dimensional structure draw ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, right? So this is one unit cell number 1. Okay, this unit cell is connected to another unit cell. Imagine this is your second unit cell. Okay, say and I will concentrate this corner. Say you all know in a cubic unit cell, okay, Say it may be simple unit cell, it may be body centered unit cell, or it may be face centered unit cell. We have atoms at the corner. Okay, so I will concentrate this corner atom. Okay, so this corner is common for both unit cells, and this corner will be common for this unit cell also. Okay, and this corner is common for both unit cell also, right? Right? Say imagine you are sitting in this room. Say whichever room you are sitting, that is your room. Okay, first room. You take one corner. See, you just concentrate one corner. That is a corner for your side room. Okay, the room which is beside you. And that is the corner for two other rooms which are opposite to these two rooms. Okay, say you are sitting in this room. Okay, on the side you have another room. Okay, and opposite to these two rooms you have two more rooms. ಇದೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದೊಂದು ರೂಮ್, ಈ ರೂಮ್ಸ್ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಎರಡು ರೂಮ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ನಾಲ್ಕು ರೂಮ್ಸ್ ಈ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಾಮನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಈಸ್ ಶೇರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ 4 ರೂಮ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಇವಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ರೂಮ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೂಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ the 5th room is located, second room ಮೇಲೆ 6th room is located, third room ಮೇಲೆ 7th room is located, and 4th room ಮೇಲೆ 8th room is located. This is the first floor. Okay, so now you have the next floor. Okay, even in the next floor there are 4 rooms. Even for those 4 rooms, this corner is common, this corner is common. You just have to visualize. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಜುವಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ರೂಮ್ಸ್, 1 2 3 4 ರೂಮ್ಸ್ ಗೂ ಸೇಮ್ ಕಾರ್ನರ್. ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫ್ಲೋರ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay, so avaga illi one more room is there on first room, exactly above the first floor, first room, 5th room is there. Okay, in the next floor idu bandu 6th room. Okay, illi 7th room, illi 8th room, above this is first floor, second floor. Okay, ee nalaku rooms ku aste this corner is common. Andre what I meant to tell you is, if you have atom at this corner, okay, this particular atom belongs to 8 unit cell. Okay, that particular atom is common for 8 other unit cells. Okay, so this is a very important idea you must have. Okay, say one corner atom in one unit cell, that atom not completely belongs to that unit cell. Okay, say this is a corner of this room and here, but this is a corner of second room, this is a corner of third room, this is a corner of fourth room, and this is a corner of 4 other rooms which are there above. Okay, so that means this is the corner of 8 rooms. Maximum 8 rooms ke corner ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು atom ಇದ್ರೆ that atom actually belongs to all the 8 rooms. Right, it actually belongs to all the 8 unit cell, right? So that is why what I write here is, what I can write here is atom at a corner belongs to 8 unit cells. It belongs to 8 unit cells. Okay, so this point is very important. Adu hege anta you should just visualize. Okay, I help you for the visualization aste. Okay, so ee ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 8 ರೂಮ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. ಒಂದೊಂದು ರೂಮ್ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ this atom can belong to 8 unit cells. Now, how much fraction of atom can belong to 1 unit cell? See, I'll work out here. See, one atom is belonging to 8 unit cell. Okay, ಈ ಒಂದು atom ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. It belongs to 8 unit cell ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, because it is present at this corner. This corner is common for 8 unit cells. So I have written that one atom belongs to 8 unit cells. Now, how much fraction of this atom belongs to 1 unit cell? Okay, say ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ಒಂದು atom ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು atom is here ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, some fraction of atom belongs to first unit cell, some fraction of atom belongs to second unit cell, some fraction of atom belongs to third unit cell, and some fraction belongs to fourth, there are, you know, 4 more fractions that belong to 4 other unit cells present above. Right? So one atom completely belongs to 8 unit cells. So one unit cell, how much fraction does it belong? It is 1/8 fraction. Right? So contribution of corner atom to each unit cell is 1/8. So this point is very, very, very important. Let me write that point here. Contribution of corner atom to each unit cell. Each unit cell is 1/8, right? So ಈ ಒಂದು atom 8 unit cell ಗೆ corner atom ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so ಒಂದು unit cell ಗೆ how much fraction belong ಆಗಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ it is 1/8. Okay, so 1/8 of this atom belongs to per unit cell, right? So that's why I told you contribution of corner atom to each unit cell is 1/8. Okay, say any unit cell when you have a corner atom, a corner atom a unit cell ಗೆ complete ಆಗಿ belong ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, just 1/8 the fraction belongs to one unit cell because the corner is a corner for 8 other units. Okay, so this is really a very, very important point to understand. Right? So what is the contribution of corner atom? It is just 1/8 per unit cell. Not we cannot say completely this atom belongs to this unit cell. No, it is a corner for 8 other unit cell. So just a fraction of 1/8. 1/8 is the fraction of atom that belongs to per unit cell. Okay. So that's all about if an atom is present at the corner, right? And now, hope this entire thing is clear. I'll erase everything now. I'll go for the next position. So, it is very, very important. So, the next one is if an atom is present in a body. Okay, fine. Say body andre we all know it is inside. Okay, say body andre it is inside. Say if this is a lattice, idu one unit cell anta ankolli. Okay, say it has inside, it has some space, right? So inside a body na you can't see with your eyes. You can just see the edges, spaces. Okay, but body is something that is inside the unit cell, inside space. So body nalli if you have an atom, then definitely that belongs to one unit cell. That atom is not shared with other unit cells, right? Face alliro atom can be shared with other unit cell, right? End alli corner alliro atom can be shared with other unit cell. Like I said, each corner is shared by 8 unit cell, right? So edge alliro atom can be shared with other unit cell, but the atom which is there right inside the body cannot be shared with other unit cell. It solely, completely belongs to that particular unit cell, right? So what I can say is contribution of atom in a body is 100%. Okay, 100% means completely, right? Say 100%. If you remove a percentage, I can tell it as 1. Okay, so that is 1. So each body can have only one atom. Okay, so completely in the body of any cubic unit cell, if you have an atom, that completely belongs to that particular unit cell. So per unit cell, there is one atom in a body. Per unit cell, there is one atom in a body. Okay, so contribution of atom in a body is 1 at the head level. Okay, so this is our second point. And now coming to third point. Third point is we have to know contribution of an atom on a face of a cubic unit cell. cubic unit cell. So if an atom is present on a face, say for example, yes, this is the room where you are sitting or standing, whatever. Okay, so it has a wall. So this wall, ivaga this is a classroom. Okay, one of the wall is board attached agide, and this is the wall common for two rooms, right? So this is the wall common for this room, and this is the wall common for the other room, which is there next, right? So this wall is one face, right? This is one face. Andre, one face is common for two unit cells. Okay, so two unit cells will share one particular face. Say e room alli e wall enidiyalla, this wall is common for the other room also. Okay, so whatever atoms that belong, that stay on this wall is the atoms that belong to other unit cell which is there back side. Okay, so whatever atoms are there on this wall, they are the atoms of this room, and I can also say they are the atoms of the other room which is there next. The other room which is there next, right? So definitely contribution of atom on a face of a cubic unit cell. ಎಷ್ಟು contribution ಇರುತ್ತೆ? It is, say for example, see one atom is shared by two unit cells, right? Because the face is common for two unit cells. The wall is a common for two classrooms. Okay, so any atom which is present on this wall belongs to two unit cells. So one unit cell, how much fraction has belonged? So how much of atom actually belongs to one unit cell? It is 1/2, right? It is 1/2. So what is the contribution here? Contribution of atom on a face is 1/2. Okay, contribution of corner atom is 1/8. Contribution of atom which is there on a face is 1/2, because each face is shared by two units. Okay, fine. So this is our third point. So innondu, if the atom is present on the edge, okay, so if the atom is present on the edge, what is the contribution? I think you can visualize this. ಒಂದು edge how many unit cell ಗೆ ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾದ್ರೆ you can talk about the contribution, right? Yeah, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಾ? ಎಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇದೇನಾ? One second. Yeah. Okay. So what did I tell you? The next point. Contribution of atom which is there at the edge. I'm discussing about contribution of atom on edge of a unit cell, cubic unit cell. Okay, fine. See here, this is one room, this is another room, first room, second room, okay, third room, fourth room, right? If you take this edge, okay, this is the edge I'm taking. This is the edge of this unit cell. The edge common for first room and third room. And idar mele innondu floor ide, right? Idar mele innondu floor definitely irutte. Say on 4 unit cell irutte, adar mele innondu 4, adar mele innondu 4, like that full lattice is formed, right? Okay, say idar mele one more floor is there. Andre illi fourth room is there, fifth room is there, sixth room is there, seventh room is there. And if fourth and fifth room go, this edge will be a common one. This edge is a common one. That means each edge is shared by 4 unit cells. Illi ondondu edge, see this is the edge, this one is the edge of 4 unit cells. One is this, the other one is this, and 2 more rooms are above in the next floor. Okay, so these are the 4 rooms at the bottom floor and 4 rooms above is there. This edge is a common for 4 rooms, right? So that's why what do we say? One atom on edge is shared by 4 unit cells. 4 unit cell. So how much of atom will belong? How much fraction of atom present on the edge will belong to 1 unit cell? 1 unit cell. It is 1 by 4, right? So what is the contribution of atom present at the edge? So let me write it here. Contribution of atom on edge is 1 by 4. Okay, so any atom which is present on an edge, that atom can belong to 2 unit cells bottom, 2 more unit cells which are there exactly on the top of them. Okay, so that means each edge is a common for 4 unit cells. So 1 unit cell, how much fraction of it will belong? It is 1/4 amount will belong to 1 unit cell. Okay, so now we understood that contribution of atom. Atom yellitre adukku contribution estirutte per unit cell, that we discussed. Okay, so this idea is really very, very important. Okay, so ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, especially for the competitive exams. Contribution of corner atom ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 1/8. Okay, contribution of atom in a body is 100%, that is 1. Contribution of atom on a face is half, okay, 1 by 2. And contribution of atom that is present on edge is 1/4. 1/8 for corner, completely 1 for body, okay, and half for face, and then 1/4 for edge. Okay, so this is what we call it as contribution. Their contribution for single unit cell. Their contribution, their fraction that belongs to single unit cell. Okay, so ivaga single unit cell completely how many atoms can be present inside? Okay, how many atoms in a whole can belong to another, we will discuss. Okay, so for that the contribution is very, very important. So now let me go for calculating number of atoms in simple cubic unit cell. Calculating, take a meeting. Calculation of number of atoms in simple cubic unit cell. Okay, so for that in an exam it can be asked for 2 marks. You need to draw the diagram of simple cubic unit cell. So yesterday I taught you how to draw a cubic unit cell. You draw model, very, very important. Okay, fine. So this is a cubic unit cell. Simple cubic means what? Atoms are present only at the corner. Atoms are present only at the corners, right? Okay, fine. So after drawing this diagram, so you just have to write few sentences. So how many corners are there in a simple cubic unit cell? 8 corners. All corners are occupied by the atoms. Okay, so 8 atoms on 8 corners. Okay, so and we all know contribution of corner atom is 1/8. Okay, so just now how also we understood that. So each corner atom, see, complete atom will not belong to this unit cell. Only 1/8 of every atom belongs to this unit cell. Okay, so we have 8 corners. Okay, 8 corners, right? Into how much amount of each atom belongs to this unit cell? 1/8. Okay, just 1/8. So how much do you get? You will get just 1 atom. So it means, it seems that there are 8 atoms at the corner, but all the 8 atoms completely doesn't belong to this unit cell. You can't say number of atoms in the unit cell is 8. No, one complete idike belong agtilla. Each corner atom is shared with 8 other unit cell. Like I have told you before, each corner is definitely shared by 8 other unit cell. Okay na? So 1/8 of this atom belongs to this, 1/8 of this atom belongs to this, and that 1/8 of this atom, 1/8 of this atom. So altogether 8 into 1/8 is equal to 1 you will get. It means nodake 8 atoms ideyeno anta ansutte corner alli, but actual number of atoms that belong to one unit cell, one simple unit cell is 1 only. Okay, because each atom's contribution is just 1/8. Okay, so 8 into 1/8 is just 1 atom. Okay, so diagram bardu and this calculation you have to show. Even mention ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಇದು. Okay, so point na you have to mention contribution of corner atom is 1/8. So you have 8 corners, right? 8 corners are there. 8 corners, and each atom on a corner contribution is 1/8. So 8 into 1/8 is equal to 1 atom. Okay, so this is how we can calculate number of atoms in a simple cubic unit cell. So this is simple cubic unit cell. Okay, that's all. Likewise, we have to calculate the number of atoms for face-centered unit cell and body-centered unit cell. Okay, so let us calculate. Hope this is over. Istu baradre you will get 2 marks. Idhu 2 marks keltare. One diagram draw ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 1 mark, and the way you a contribution mention ಮಾಡಿ a calculate ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 1 mark. Okay, so like that 2 marks you will get. Next, calculation of number of atoms in, okay, body centered cubic unit cell. So how do you draw the body centered cubic unit cell? So yesterday we have seen how to draw them, right? Types of unit cells are I discussed. So unit cell body centered means what? At every corner atoms are there. At every corner atoms are placed. Along with the corner you have an atom inside the body. Right? We all know contribution of atoms at corner is 1/8. Okay, first one. Second one, contribution of atom in a body is 100%. That is 1. Okay, so total number of atoms is equal to how many corners are there? 8, and just 1/8 of it belongs to one unit cell, so 1/8 plus, and there is one atom in a body, right? So here 1 plus 1. So total number of atoms that belongs to this unit cell. Okay, so since base is not there, I'm just going to think about 8 into 1/8 plus 1, right, is equal to 2. So how many atoms, how many atoms that belongs to one body centered cubic unit cell? It is 2 atoms. It is 2 atoms. Okay, so nodake ಎಷ್ಟು atoms ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ diagram ಅಲ್ಲಿ? It's like 8 plus 1 9 ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ, but no, right? Each atom allu 1/8 only belongs to this unit cell. Okay, 8 corners, so 8 into 1/8, and complete atom belongs to this unit cell only, which is there in the body, right? So this is 1 plus 1, altogether 2. So completely number of atoms that belongs to body centered cubic unit cell is 2. So this number is very important. Number of atoms that belongs to simple cubic unit cell is 1. Number of atoms that belongs to body centered cubic unit cell is 2. Okay, so calculation important. So that's all about calculation of number of atoms in body centered unit cell. And now we will talk about face centered cubic unit cell. Okay, so face centered cubic unit cell, how to draw? And you have 8 atoms on 8 corners, and then how many faces are there in a cube? Yesterday we discussed it's 6 faces, right? So this is one phase, one atom on a phase. Second phase, atom on a phase. Third phase, fourth phase, front. Fifth phase, back side, which you cannot see, that is 6. Okay, 6 phases, 6 atoms. So now, how do you calculate here? Contribution of corner atom is 1/8. Okay, and contribution of an atom in phase is contribution of atom in a phase. One phase, one put the common for 2 unit cell. Okay, so just half of the atom, okay, belong to 1 unit cell, right? So ivaga just how many corners are there? 8 corners are there, but 1/8 only, 1/8 of the atom belongs to that cube. Plus how many phases are there? 6 are there, but half of the atom only belong to one particular unit cell. So it is 1 plus 3, right? So altogether you will have 4. So it is 4 atoms. 4 atoms are present per unit cell. Okay, per phase centered cubic unit cell. Right? So ಈ numbers very important to understand. So one phase centered cubic cell ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು atoms ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ altogether it is only 4. ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾನೇ atoms ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿರಬಹುದು, but all of them completely will not belong to the same unit cell. ಅವುಗಳು share ಆಗಿದೆ with other units. That's why just the contribution of corner atom to one unit cell is 1/8. Contribution of atom in a phase is half. So if you calculate all together, you will get 4. So it means that only 4 complete atoms belong to one unit cell of phase centered cubic unit cell. Okay, so this is how you have to calculate. 3 calculations we have done. We have done calculation of atoms in simple cubic, calculation of atoms in body center, calculation of atoms in phase center. The ಮೂರು calculations very simple irutte, right? It can be asked for 2 marks. And e concept further concepts is very important. So definitely you have to understand, rather than just by hearting this much number in different unit cells. You must know why that number has come and how it has come. Okay, so ಇಲ್ಲಿ contribution ಅನ್ನೋದು very important. So a one complete atom ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು fraction one unit cell ಗೆ belong ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ too many competitive questions can be asked. So if you are okay with the concept, you can answer the questions. Okay, so that's all about calculation of number of atoms in a unit cell. Fine. So this is one aspect of the chapter. So now we will go to the next concept, which is also really very important. Theoretical questions may not be asked, but the conceptual questions can be asked. It's very important to understand the concept. Okay, so that is I'm going for close packed structures. Close packed structures. Okay, close packed structures. See, what do you mean by, or we can say close packing of atoms. Okay, or I mean to tell you close packing of atoms in a crystal lattice. In a crystal lattice. So this is actually anything, meanings are same. So this is the topic we are going to discuss. Okay, close packing of atoms in a crystal lattice. So we all know what is crystal lattice, right? So crystal lattice is some 3-dimensional space where atoms are arranged, right? So idana nanu cubic crystal lattice and the heltini, where each one is a smaller cube. It's a unit cell arranged repeatedly, and it occupied the 3-dimensional space, right? So you know what, you can observe this, how this unit cell are arranged very tight. Yes or no? See, this is one unit cell, this is another unit cell, this is the third unit cell. You see, they have arranged in a perfect way. They have utilized the entire space so that there are minimum gaps between the unit cells. There are minimum gaps between the atoms, right? Say, ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ space ನ use ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ gaps ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರಬೇಕು when you arrange the atoms in the three-dimensional space. Okay, only then you can say that particular solid is stable. Okay, when the atoms are arranged in such a way to avoid the gaps. Okay, they have to be arranged in such a way to have minimum gaps. Okay, completely gaps till they arrange ಮಾಡೋದು very difficult. It's not possible. You can see here there are some gaps, right? So ಈ minimum gaps ಅಂತೂ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. That's okay, fine. But too many gaps ಇರಬಾರದು. Okay, so they have to be very closely arranged. Close packing meaning, you know, they have to be very closely arranged as much as possible. Why? Okay, the entire space have to be utilized by the atoms to a maximum extent by arranging themselves very close to each other. Why they should get arranged very close to each other? It is to avoid gaps between them. If gaps are there, it will collapse. Imagine if there are too many gaps here. Okay, large spaces if they are there between these blocks, what would happen? You can easily break it, right? And it moves however it wants, right? But now it's very tight, it's very compact, it's very stable. You can't break it that easily. Why? Because the atoms are very closely arranged. There are no gaps in between. The entire three-dimensional space has been used by the atoms for the close packing. You know, such must be the condition to the stability. Okay, ಇದರ ಒಂದು arrangement ಇಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬಾ gaps ಇದ್ದು atoms middle ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ particular solid collapse ಆಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so it becomes very weak. So that's why close packing is compulsory for any crystal lattice, right? Close packing andrene eno, atoms are arranged very close to each other, touching with each other without much gaps. I use the word without much gaps. A three-dimensional space ಏನು available ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ atoms arrangement ಗೆ complete space use ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು atoms. Okay, without creating much gaps. So that is what we mean by close packing. Okay, so now in a three-dimensional space, how the atoms are arranged in a close packed way, we will study. And we will study in three different steps. We will study that in three different steps. Okay, so you can note it down. The first point, close packing of atoms in 3D space is done in three steps. Okay, so step number 1, I'm talking about the step number 1. Okay, arrangement in one dimension. First, atoms are arranged in one dimension. Later, the atoms are arranged in two dimensions. And finally, the atoms are arranged in three dimensions. Step-wise, we are going to study how exactly the atoms are going to be arranged in the three-dimensional space. Okay, so now we have the complete one lattice formation na study ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ. Okay, ಈ atoms ಹೆಂಗೆ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ಲಿ ವೇ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಫುಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ we are reading. We are trying to understand. Okay, say first step, close packing in one dimension. Say if you have to make this cube, if you have to make this Rubik's cube, first you will take 1 2 3 blocks ತಗೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, you will arrange in one line. Okay, say ಈ big Rubik's cube ನ arrange ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ first ನೀವು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು 3 blocks, ಅದು ಲೈನ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ. That is one dimension arrangement, right? So imagine the solid spheres are your atoms. Okay, so this is one atom, this is second atom, this is third atom, this is fourth atom. The line alli first arrange ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. You have to arrange something, you will arrange that in one line. This is just one dimension. Okay, so just idukondu breadth ide aste, length illa, height illa, right? You can't calculate the height, you can't calculate the length. So it just had a breadth. Okay, just it's there in one dimension. So this is the initial step. You will start arranging the atoms, right? And now one important word whose meaning you must understand, that is coordination number. There is something called coordination number. So what do you mean by coordination number? It is the number of, okay, or yeah, you can write like this: number of nearest neighbors of a particle. Here particle means what? Atom of a particle is called coordination number of nearest neighbors of a particle. That means concentrate this particular atom. It is there in contact with how many other atoms? This one, right? This is the contact only. Yes, two atoms are there. Only two. This side place atom, the other side. So the coordination number of each atom is 2 in one dimension. In one dimensional arrangement, coordination number of each atom is 2. You take this atom. So how many atoms are there in touch with this atom? 1, 2. Consider this atom. So how many atoms are there in touch with this atom? 1, 2. So if ಯಾವುದೇ atom ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅದರ ಸುತ್ತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ attached ಆಗಿ 2 atoms maximum ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, right? So one dimension, I'm talking about one dimension. ನಾನು layers ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ. Okay, just first layer start ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ fill ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, crystal lattice fill ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಆ 3 dimensional space ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ you will start with one line. ಇದು one dimension structure ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So one dimension structure ಅಲ್ಲಿ coordination number of each atom is 2. This is really very important. Okay, so coordination number of each atom in one dimension is 2. Coordination number is the number of atoms that are there in touch with a particular atom. Okay, so that's why I said it is number of nearest neighbors of a particle. Okay, so that is 2. One dimension, very simple, just one line ಹಾಕ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, each atom 2 other atoms ಜೊತೆ touch ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So coordination number 2 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Over. Now second step ಗೆ we are going 2 dimensional packing ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. Okay, so how will you do 2 dimensional packing? Take a heading, close packing in 2 dimensions. Second step, close packing in 2 dimensions. Again 2 dimensions irodu, one length, one breadth, right? Say one dimension is start ಮಾಡೋದು, right? So this is one possibility, and another row I will exactly add below like this. Okay, rows to rows I'm adding, right? So just like, see, first what we have done, three units we arranged like this. This is one dimension. Idhar keಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು row I have added. Idhar ಕೆಳಗಡೆ third row is coming. Okay, so this much only you observe. This is what we mean by 2 dimensions. So one row ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, right? ಅದರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು rows ಹಾಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ like this. And you see the rows how I am putting, ಅದನ್ನು observe ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. See, the atom of this row is coming exactly below to the atom of first row. Again, this atom is coming below to the atom of first row. Exactly below I am placing the atoms, right? So this is one possible arrangement. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ breadth ಇದೆ, length ಇದೆ, breadth ಇದೆ, height ಇನ್ನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, height ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. Okay, so length ಇದೆ, breadth ಇದೆ. ಈ possible condition ಅಲ್ಲಿ, in this particular arrangement. So it's a 2 dimensional arrangement. Okay, so this is one possible arrangement, and other possible arrangement you can observe here. The other possible arrangement, this is one dimensional arrangement, we all know this. And you see the second layer how I am placing. It is between the gaps of first two, right? In the grooves, I will call these things as grooves. So grooves middle alli I am placing the atoms of second row. And in difference ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತದೆ, right? Between this and this. Like this. There are 2 possible ways of packing in 2 dimensions. This is one possible way, just like a cube. Okay, so exactly ee row du kedagade this row is coming, idurdu kedagade this row is coming. That is this arrangement. Another arrangement is, see, iveredu middle alli second row nalli atom bandre illi bandre exactly idur kedagade barde iveredu middle alli illenadru naan atom place madidre, then I get this arrangement, right? And can you tell me which arrangement is more efficient here? In which of the arrangement maximum space is utilized? You see the spaces between the atoms. You see the spaces between the atoms. The arrangement alli you have larger spaces, whereas in this arrangement the space is very much minimum between the atoms, between the rows, I can say, right? So definitely this is the more efficient way of arranging. This is more efficient, okay, because maximum place can be utilized by the atoms. Here lots of spaces have come. I told you in the starting, if there are lots of spaces between the atoms, it cannot be stable. You can break it very easily, right? So this is not efficient. And this arrangement is called square close packing. Square close packing arrangement. Okay, and this is called hexagonal close packing. So there are two ways of arranging in rows. Okay, so this is square close. Why do we call it a square close packing? Okay, you see here, can you all tell me what is the coordination number in this arrangement? What is the coordination number in this arrangement? Consider any one particle which is there. Yes, let me consider this. Okay, so now E ಒಂದು atom na consider ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Can you tell me what is its coordination number? That means how many atoms are there in touch with this atom? How many atoms are touching this atom? One idu. The other one is this. This is the third atom touching, and this is the fourth atom touching. Right? Idu touch ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. Right? So how many atoms are touching this? It's 4. You see, if I join those points, I get a square. Rhombus alla, square. Okay, so that's why it is called square close packing. Okay, and what is the coordination number in this two-dimensional arrangement? It is 4. This is very, very important for competitive exam. Okay, there are two possible two-dimensional arrangement. One is square close packing. The other one is hexagonal close packing. Okay, in square close packing of two dimension, the coordination number is 4. In hexagonal close packing, the coordination number, can you all think of the coordination number here? Okay, let me take this atom in the middle. Okay, ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ coordination number ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ middle atom ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಈ atom ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ಹಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರ ಸುತ್ತ ಇನ್ನೂ atoms ಇರುತ್ತೆ, we don't know, I didn't draw ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Right? So take the middle one. How many atoms are there in touch with this atom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So if I join those dots, I get hexagonal shape around that. Right? So that's why we will call it as hexagonal close packing. And what is the coordination number here? How many atoms are there in touch with this atom? 6. So here the coordination number is 6. The coordination number that bit very important. Okay, so two dimensional agi ನಾವು two ways ಅಲ್ಲಿ arrange ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. There are two possible ways in two dimensional arrangement. One is square close packing, the other one is hexagonal close packing. Okay, so and there was a question asked in one of the previous NEET years that which way of packing in two dimensional is more effective ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Actually they gave you the percentage of utilizing the empty space. You know what? Here only 52% of the total lattice can be used on them. But here 60% of the total three-dimensional space is utilized. Okay? More space is utilized here. That means this is more efficient packing. In numbers kelidare one varsha. Okay, so that's why actually textbook alli mention agilla, but still you have to understand, it's a common sense which is more efficient. Illi nodi jaasti gaps kanistide, illi gaps very little ide, right? So definitely lesser the gaps means what? The atoms have utilized the maximum space in that three dimension. Okay, so then that point of time it can be stable, right? So Yava solids so that has followed this arrangement, they are more stable than the solids that have followed this arrangement. Okay, so ಈ arrangement naturally possible ಅಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು solids would arrange in this arrangement. Okay, but they are not that much stable. So to some extent, stability of the solids can be decided based on the way they packed in a three-dimensional structure. Okay, so ಅದು three-dimensional way ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆ atoms ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆನೂ ನೀವು ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ನ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So this is really very important to understand. Okay, so this is the most efficient way of arranging. This is not that much efficient. Okay, so 52% of the total space is used here in this packing. 60% of the total space is used in this packing. I spoke about only two-dimensional arrangement so far. And now I'll go for three-dimensional arrangement. Okay, so two-dimensional ಆಯ್ತು. ಇವಾಗ see ನಿಮಗೊಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಬಂತು two-dimensional. ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಇದೇ ತರ ಲೇಯರ್ ಹಾಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಿಮಗೆ ಲೆಂತ್ ಬಂತು, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್ ಬಂತು, ಹೈಟ್ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸಿ ಲೆಂತ್ ಬಂತು, ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್ ಬಂತು, ಹೈಟ್ ಇನ್ನು ಬರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಅವಾಗ ಹೈಟ್ ತೆಗಿಯಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಹೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ಲೇ. ಇವಾಗ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಲೇಯರ್, ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಲೇಯರ್. ಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಸಿ ಈ ಒನ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಒನ್ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ರೋ. ಟೂ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ರೋಸ್ ಒನ್ ಬಿಲೋ ದ ಅದರ್. ಇದು ಒಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಬಂತು. ಇವಾಗ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ, ಓಕೆ, ಆರ್ ಇದ್ರ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ, ಆರ್ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಲೇಯರ್. Okay, so this is one more layer that has come. Okay, other ಕೆಳಗಡೆ or other ಮೇಲೆ, this is another layer that has come. ಇದರ layers to layers, when you go on putting on one another, you get a dimension called height, right? So ivaga that's what we are learning, right? Three-dimensional packing. So take a heading, close packing in three dimension. Close packing in three dimension. Sir, time is to? Huh? Oh. Third step. I'm going to the third step. Close packing. Now the crystal lattice ಒಂದು ಅದೇ ಪಿಕ್ಚರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, we are trying to make one crystal lattice. That you have to understand. That we are doing it stepwise. First step by the second step by the now third step. Close packing in three dimension. Three dimension. Okay, fine. So now two-dimensionally two possible arrangements we got. Okay, so what is arrangements? Square close packing, hexagonal close packing. So now we will study three-dimensional arrangement. Three-dimensional arrangement in square close packing. Arrangement in square close packing. Okay, fine. So wait, just a two-dimensional structure ontsala I'll write up square close packing to two-dimensional structure. Exactly, the rows are placed one below the other. Atom of first row ಕೆಳಗಡೆ, atom of second row ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, not in the middle of first and second, right? So ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ two-dimensional arrangement. So ಇದೇ ತರ layers, you have so many layers. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು layer. Okay, so ಇನ್ನೊಂದು layer ಇದೆ. So this is another layer of two-dimensional structure. This is another layer. So this layer, exactly when I bring it onto this, okay, this second layer, exactly when I bring it onto this, okay, the third layer, exactly when I bring it onto the second layer, ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ? Just picture ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ವಿಜುವಲೈಸ್ ಆಗದೆ ಇರಬಹುದು, but just I am trying it. Okay, so this is our first layer. First layer. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆನೆ ರೌಂಡ್ ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಬಂದಾಗ it looks something like this. Just observe this. Just observe this. Yes. Okay, Nimugondu, complete cubic lattice has formed. It's not that much very clear, but anyway, we don't expect you to draw something like this in the exam. So, ಇದು ಅದು ಹೇಗೆ 3-dimensional structure form ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು theoretical question ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ means the concept is really very much essential to understand. Okay, so something like this. One layer, one layer. When I keep on putting layer on layer, this is how a complete cube is formed. Now this is a 3-dimensional structure. The length is there, breadth is there, height is there. Okay, so all 3 dimensions are there. So this is how you will get cubic crystal lattice. Okay, so this one we will call it as cubic crystal lattice. Crystal lattice. Okay, so here the unit cell, this is the entire crystal lattice, right? So here the unit cell that you will find is simple cubic unit cell. Okay, so either ಒಂದು crystal lattice ಅಲ್ಲಿ the unit cell is simple cubic unit cell. Okay, so simple cubic unit cell form ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So many simple cubic unit cell join and you will get this complete structure. Okay, 3-dimensional view. Clear everyone? So square close packing very easy. Now square close packing 2-dimensional ತಗೊಂಡು just layer on layer ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು add ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ I would get something like this in a 3-dimensional view. And this is what we call cubic crystal lattice, and where the unit cell is a simple cubic unit cell. Okay, so you will have a simple cubic unit cell, something like this. Okay, this is one. Okay, ಇದು visualization ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರೋದು very difficult. Just I am trying. Okay, so ಇದರ ಒಂದು unit cell. You can divide the entire crystal lattice into small units. And what type of unit cell you will observe here? Simple cubic unit cell. This is really very important. Okay, so on the square close packing, 2-dimensional square close packing, we get 3-dimensional weave ತಗೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರೆ you get something like this. And here the unit cell is of which type? The unit cell is of simple cubic unit cell. Okay, so this is all about 3-dimensional arrangement of square close packing. Okay, now square close packing complete ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಇವಾಗ hexagonal close packing, that is really very important because the more efficient way of arranging, right? So hexagonal close packing ಗೆ 3-dimension ಹಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, that's what we will learn now. Time ಆಯ್ತಾ? Okay, so tomorrow we will learn that. Keep the heading ಬರೆದು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. We will discuss tomorrow. That's really very important. So close. Third step alle the first aspect we have discussed. The second aspect, okay, 3-dimensional arrangement. 3-dimensional arrangement of hexagonal. ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. 3-dimensional arrangement of hexagonal close packing. Okay, so hexagonal close packing 2-dimensional we have seen. So now ಅದೇ ತರ layer, if you keep the second layer onto that, how does it look? There generates 2 types of gaps, which we call it as voids. That concept we will discuss tomorrow. Just keep this idea. So hope the concept is clear for you. See, it all depends on the imagination. So ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ imagine